T-minus 10 minutes. T-minus 9 minutes. T-minus 8 minutes. T-minus 7 minutes. T-minus 6 minutes. minus 5 minutes. Minus for minutes. Minus 3 minutes. Minus 2 minutes. Minus 1 minute. Stand by.
How about that?
And we're off. Welcome to a Football Friday, everybody. Oh, it's a special one, a very special one, because Scruffy's with me in hour one. In hour two, we're going to Las Vegas, not just on the Silver State Sports Entertainment Network, but our good friend Mike Davis is going to join us, the head coach and general manager of the Vegas Nighthawks, reigning champion indoor football league team. I was chatting with him last week and telling him that Jim Barker had to resign his spot on the show. He's like, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, awesome. We'll get Mike Davis in here in hour two talking football. And Scruffy, before I get into the topics of the day, and it's nice to see you, happy World Radio Day, Scruffy. You and I have been fired from most of the finest radio stations across the country. So happy World Radio Day to you, my friend.
Same to you. We're going to get together and have a cake later on.
Let's light a fire. let's light a fire and hold hands and sing a song. Okay.
Sing Kumbaya. Yeah.
Well, I got hey, we survived it.
You were the one that got me onto the greatest investment I have made, and that was Sirius XM satellite radio.
Oh, I was listening to it today. Yep.
Like I listened to the news talk station here to get a newscast or two, and that's it when it comes to local radio. Because now local radio here, is it coming from Edmonton? Is it coming from Calgary? Is it coming from Red Deer? I don't know.
It's so good. But you know what? This show's better. Let's go, Mitch. It's Football Friday, and trust me, I got NFL, CFL, UFL. I got indoor. We got all kinds of football coming up. But the big story is obviously the Olympics, and here's what's in the news. Canada's medal haul is up to 7 at the Milan Cortina Olympics. Moguls master Mikhail Kingsbury and snowboard cross star Elliot Grandin each added more silver on day 6. I added here, sigh. Can we just get to the men's hockey gold medal game? I tried to watch the speed skating today, 10,000 meter. It's like NASCAR, man. I flipped over to Good Morning Football on NFL. I'm sorry, I can't. Where are you on the Olympics
stuff yesterday?
No, I did not. I watched hockey all day yesterday at the Olympics. I was happier than a pig in slop. How about you?
Yeah, I watched a couple of the games yesterday. I obviously did see some of the short track speed skating. That's just crazy. I don't know what if you're trying to pick a negative out of Canada's game yesterday, go for it, because that was one of the better games I've seen a team play.
Okay. You can't. No, you can't. But here's what listen, again, we'll get to football. We will. But this is what's burning on me. It came out this morning. I'm not sure if you saw this, but members of Team Finland approached the sport governing body of Finland and said, can we get Paul Maurice to be our coach? That was reported today.
Really?
I think it was on NBC. Yeah.
Wow.
And not shockingly, on Team Finland are Nico Mikula, Eetu Luosterainen, Anton Lundell, all of the Panthers, Alexander Barkov, if he was healthy. The team's loaded with Florida Panthers. They wanted Paul Maurice. So I was checking with my sports people today. And I guess, I kind of knew this, but you don't need to have citizenship or a passport of the country to coach. We see that with Canada soccer, right? John Herdman, the lady that was, they're all fired now. But isn't that right? I feel like you should have to be from that country to coach them in international competition. Your thoughts, please, before we go any further.
Yeah, I agree. And I know that, I don't know who all the coaches. I know yesterday when they were with the Czechia game yesterday, Thomas Plekanec, who used to play for the Canadians, he was on the bench. Like, where are they now? I know that, a lot of people have said that curling, much like hockey, is no longer Canadian because you've got guys like Glenn Howard coaching a team. You've got Wayne Madaw coaches a team. They're not residents of that country, but they're helping share the knowledge. And then what happens is the Canadian team gets beat, much like Rachel Holman did today. So, I think that you have to, at the Olympics especially, you have to be from that country.
Well, that probably would have been a pretty good poll question, but we have a better poll question that we'll get to after the break, and it is football related. But I was kind of, because my dad, oh my God, treasonous if you, from a hockey perspective, were to coach or help another country other than Canada if you were from Canada. That would be my dad. But you also knew my dad, Mitch. He was the Archie Bunker of all time. It's just, he just was. And then I kind of thought of this for myself. I'm like, listen, I was the voice of USA flag football. What if I wasn't allowed to do that? I kind of walked it back and thought, wait a minute, I am.
But there's a little bit of a difference there, Rod.
Well, hang on. Paul LaPolice is an American coaching Canada in the Olympics in flag football. So what's the difference?
Is Paul not a Canadian citizen now with all the years he spent up here? Really?
No.
I thought he was. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, I've walked that back and just realized, yeah, you should be allowed to do that. I guess if you're a player, you can't. But if you're a coach or whatever else, you can. Okay, we got Matt DeBuck. Check. Hey, Coach DeBuck. He's watching at Fort Lauderdale. Listen, when we come back, when I say the football, Scruffy, you'll get a kick out of this. And maybe DeBuck knows this, but I heard this on the radio this morning as I was heading to the gym. I guess they had a town hall last night for the Dolphins fans. I didn't even know until I turned on the radio this morning. You can imagine. I was listening to Joe Rose this morning on the radio. He was there. He goes, nobody was safe. It was a war. That's how enraged they are in this town. Have I got time
to ask you a quick question?
We have a minute and 40 seconds.
Dolphins fans or Rider fans? What ones need therapy the most?
Very, very similar. At the moment, Dolphins fans in a wash because the Rider fans are the reigning champions of the Canadian Football League. They're still neurotic and they're upset about losing their players in free agency. I'm trying to tell them to relax and remember that they are the champions. Everybody's trying to be you. I told
somebody that last night.
Right. Can you just tone it down for a little bit? That's Rider different set of problems. Dolphin fans, man, I'm not sure you're fixing them. And I mean, I went down that road. I got some Cowboys thoughts here. I saw a headline on ESPN this morning. Cowboys hoping to emulate New England. I'm like, of course you are, but you're not going to. Let's start with the owner, the guy that stays out of the locker room. How about that? Can we start there? Just triggered myself on the Dallas Cowboys in the National Football League. But I will say this, the only pro football team in America with North America with a longer pregame or game day broadcast than the Saskatchewan Roughriders is the Miami Dolphins. Way back in the day, Mitch, I came here, got a lot of tips out of here from WQAM. Anyways, at Football Friday, we'll dive head first into football when we come back. It is a Football Friday. You're watching on Game Plus TV and on World Radio Day, WQVZ Radio.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Looking for a new ride without the big city pressure? Come to Western Dodge in Moose Jaw, where you'll find an unbeatable lineup of Ram trucks, Jeep SUVs, Dodge Muscle, and Chrysler family rides. With knowledgeable staff, great prices, and that friendly Moose Jaw touch, you'll drive away with confidence. Western Dodge. Big selection, small town service. Visit us today or browse online at westerndodge.ca.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Hold on tight, Moose Jaw. Professional bull riding is back. PBR Canada charges into the Temple Garden Center April 25th. See the toughest riders take on the rankest bulls in a night of non-stop edgier seat action. Whether you're a diehard fan or brand new to PBR, this is one show you don't want to miss. Tickets are on sale now at sastix.ca or at the box office. But don't wait, they'll sell fast. Professional Bull Riding Canada in Moose Jaw.
Proudly presented by Papikassis Developments Limited.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
21-time nominated Grammy Award winner Dwight Yoakam. Live in concert. June 24th, 7 p.m., Temple Garden Center. Dwight Yoakam. On sale now at sasktix.ca. Dwight Yoakam Live.
And welcome back to the show. It's a Football Friday here on Game Plus Television, WQVZ Radio, brought to you in part by Pump Jack Steakhouse and Saloon. As manager Cool Kevin Smith says, we're a sports bar. Pump Jack's Cathedral, Pump Jack's Weyburn. Come early, stay late at the place where friends meet. Okay, Scruffy, now we get down to football. We've got a lot of things to get to. And because it is the Canadian hour of the show, and you're joining us from Canada, let's talk about Canadian Football League free agency. All there really was on Thursday that I saw was the Hamilton Tiger Cats signed veteran receivers Curly Gittins Jr. and Shamir Bridges on Thursday. Both players became CFL free agents Tuesday. Gittins Jr. spent the last 2 seasons with the Edmonton Elcamos, while Bridges returns for a 3rd season in Hamilton. I said they were spending credit card money, and it looks like they are. They signed Mario Alford. They signed Trey Ford. Others are saying, no. Edmonton and Ottawa are spending the most money. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's keeping track of this, tallying. I don't know. It looks to me like Hamilton is making the biggest surge through free agency. What are you seeing?
I would think that Edmonton and Ottawa have spent the most. I'd have to go back and take a look, but Edmonton has really, they made Malik Carney the highest paid American defensive lineman. Ottawa made the former Rider quarterback Jake Mayer the highest paid backup quarterback. They made Greg Bell the highest paid American running back. There's somebody else they made the highest paid too. I forget who it is, but I would think that Edmonton, Ottawa, Hamilton have to be the top 3.
Cool. Well, like I say, it's in my commentary today. You can go read it at rodpeterson.com. I mentioned Hamilton. I mean, they don't have as far to go. They finished first last year in the East, as you know. They don't need a whole lot. Edmonton and Ottawa both missed the playoffs, and I guess as we sit here right now, the question could be who's winning free agency. Do you agree with that adage, you don't win a Grey Cup in February, but you could lose it? Remember we used to say that? Do we still say that?
Yes and no. You have to be very shrewd in knowing what holes you need to fill and then finding the right fit for it. And Jeremy O'Day obviously did that a couple of years ago. Remember when he sort of made sure that the core guys didn't get away, and then he just added, and now after winning, a lot of his guys are, sought after to the point that Jeremy just couldn't keep them around with the with the money that you've got at your hands. So I don't really agree with that. Because you can get guys in free agency, you can get guys off your neg list, you can make other moves. I find it interesting today. The Riders have gone out and signed former NFL running back Darrell Henderson, who won a Super Bowl with the Rams the year they beat Cincinnati. And there's a lot of excitement here because, former NFL running back's coming. Well, Roddy, how many times have we seen NFL guys, not just with the Riders, but with other CFL teams, try this league and find out it's not what they think it is, and they don't even get through camp?
It's like 9-1 guys that don't make it to week one. And what did Roy Shivers say?
It's an interesting signing, but if he gets here for the start of the season, so be it.
That doesn't get me excited. Shivers said it. Right, running back's a dime a dozen. And he was one. So if anybody could say it, it was Shiv. Oh, and by the way, Matthew DeBuck, Coach DeBuck is watching in Fort Lauderdale. He says Dolphins fans are more in need of counseling than Rough Riders fans. But I think it would help us all. It would help us all. By the way, speaking of negless, how about this one? I want your take on this, Mitch. Listen up. I'm sure this reached you. A Mississippi judge granted Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss a preliminary injunction that gives him another year of eligibility after a fight with the NCAA. This pertains to Canada because he is on the Saskatchewan Roughriders neg list. On
not
Thursday,
anymore,
the judge...
not.
They drop him?
Yeah, they dropped him after the Sugar Bowl.
What, because he was so bad in it?
No, I think they realized that he was probably going to the NFL.
Okay, well, he wasn't great in the Sugar Bowl, but was that the semifinal?
That's
he was
the one that got them to the national semifinal. That's where they beat
Sorry,
Georgia.
Right. He got shut down in the semifinal. You're right. So on Thursday, the judge said the NCAA ignores its own rules and failed to weigh Chambliss's medical history. The NCAA denied his waiver on January 9th. The NCAA also rejected his appeal on February 4th. Chambliss has spent 5 years in college but played only 3 healthy seasons. The reason I bring this up, did you hear what he's going to get paid in Oxford this year at Ole Miss?
I caught a little bit of this last night, but I didn't get the exact figure.
$7 million.
Yeah.
So
tell me college sports isn't broken again, Rod?
Is it? But that's the rub. Is it broken? The players are getting paid finally. That was the problem for all these years.
They shouldn't be getting paid what some guys in the pros are, if not more.
Well, Here we go. I mean, that was, again, the debate. Well, 2 things. Number one, I almost drove in the ditch yesterday listening to this aforementioned Joe Rose because he was talking about Olympic men's hockey. I'm like, what the hell? Where am I? I never thought I would hear them talking on Miami Sports Radio about Olympic men's hockey. But when you think that Matthew Tkachuk is the face of Team USA, probably all of Team USA, all sports at the Olympics, that's not a big shock. But then number 2, they were talking about this Trinidad Chambliss thing today. And I'm sorry, I missed that the Riders dropped him from their neg list. But they were saying, hey, would he be going back for year 6 if he wasn't getting $7 million, which would put him ahead of probably about 3 starting NFL quarterbacks financially at $7 million a year. Clearly, he wouldn't go back for year 6. And Joe Rose said Chambliss should maybe throw $500,000 at the judge for thank you. I'm like, you can't say that. You can't say that, can you? I guess you can say whatever you want.
Well, he did, so.
Yeah, he said it, exactly. Jason in Red Deer writes in a couple things. He says, good morning, Rod Squad. Hey, Rod, maybe you need to create the Rod Pedersen Radio Network, LOL. Radio shows that say what the hell they want. We already do it, and we're fine right here. Coach DeBuck says, keep him in college. It makes the NCAA more cash. Carlos in Indiana writes in, he says, that judge delivered a filibuster for an opinion, and then he just about broke down crying as he delivered the verdict. Whatever, $7 million to play college football. Looks like you have something to say on this, do you?
What class is he taking?
Oh, did Carson Beck step in it here? Were you following? They're like, oh, what are you taking in school? I don't know. I haven't been in class in 2 years. they were trying to put that fire out for days around here. They're like, oh, no. He's taking them all online. Oh.
Like you at
Nobody
Milestone High.
Yeah, it's a shock that I finished. Brent in Saskatoon writes in, he says, I remember when Vince Young tried out for the Riders and didn't make it. I don't recall what year. Well, that was 2017, and he was 350 pounds. I was just telling somebody that it's not that Vince Young wasn't good enough to play the CFL. Trust me, he was 100 pounds overweight. First snap of the green and white game, he popped a hammy, went down in a heap. Were you there, Mitch?
Nope.
Oh, and it's he never played again. It was sad to watch. Vince Young would have been fine had he been in shape. 902-518-3033. Couple other things, Mitch, as we roll on this Football Friday. We'll get to it all. Another milestone for LeBron James, point 3. The 41-year-old Lakers superstar became the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double as the Lakers topped the Dallas Mavericks 124-104 last night. He broke the record held by Karl Malone. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. Can I ask you if you will be paying attention to any of it at all?
0.
Really, huh? Yeah.
The NBA All-Star Game might be... Well... No, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say the NBA All-Star Game might be the worst of all the All-Star games, but now the NFL Pro Bowl, they've shuffled that to a Tuesday night. They don't even play football anymore. It's just flag football. So, Roddy, you know me. I'm one that thinks that the league should just get rid of All-Star games or do it at the end of the season or something. Like, let's just keep going.
Well, let's be honest. I'm not going to argue with you. I've been reading a little bit up on this NBA thing for a few reasons. The NHL's off. You can only watch so much Olympics. So I've been watching quite a bit of NBA. And I've never disliked the NBA. I just don't understand it. I never played basketball, but I enjoy the show and everything. And they said they had to spruce up the All-Star weekend because their interest in the league is declining. And that this is not the NBA show, but that should be a big concern.
They've been saying that for years.
And the interest continues to decline, though. They should be scared, but this is not the NBA show. Arlen Bruce writes in, he says, great day, RP and Mr. Scruffy. Arlen Bruce, two-time Grey Cup champion, former Kansas City Chief. He says, I remember when Ricky Williams came to the CFL. What a circus when he arrived. Great, weird guy, but the CFL is really underrated. RP with all, and then it gets cut. Well, we all know, I'm not going to sit here. We all know how good the CFL is. It's this inferiority complex that the CFL people have. They need to pump their chest and say how good. We know, okay? I'm going to sit here and talk about it every day. I'll tell you one league that's not, however, and since it is a Football Friday, I'm jumping out of order with my points. I've read this 3 straight days now. This will be the third, Mitch. It's point 5. I've moved it up in the order. The United Football League has announced its complete 2026 game schedule with the league's media partners, Fox, ABC, ESPN, combining to broadcast all 43 games during the UFL's 3rd season. The new season kicks off Friday, March 27th. A.J. McCarron's Birmingham Stallions. He's the coach, okay, Mitch. He's not the quarterback. A.J. McCarron's Birmingham Stallions taking on the expansion Louisville Kings, who were under the guidance of Louisville Cardinals great Chris Redmond. The game will be at Lynn Family Stadium. The poll question today is, will you be following the UFL? I would have voted no a week ago, but a lot of people have got up me saying, hey, yeah, give it a shot again. It's got me to the point that I've voted yes. I'll be following the UFL. But what are you voting on that?
If it's on, I might watch it, but I'm not going to be paying a lot of attention to it, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know the answer to what the proper ding, 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 ding. Like I'm with you. If I got nothing else to watch, I'll watch. Similar to why I'm watching the NBA. Friday, March 27th. And they're trying to do a Friday night football thing.
That will be in the middle of March Madness. And while I am not a big fan of the NBA, Roddy, you know I love my U.S. college basketball. And with the Michigan Wolverines being maybe the number 1 team in the country after this weekend, my interest level goes up a little bit. I love watching Big Ten basketball, much like I love watching Big Ten football. But I just can't see me watching a UFL game unless there's a reason for me to watch it or there's nothing else on. And spring training will be on. Baseball will be ready to go. So, yeah, sorry.
Well, trust me, we got a lot of points to get to. Like I say, it's a Football Friday. You came to the right place, everybody. And Scruffy, I appreciate you joining. From the audience, John Ohm says, Vince Young discovered the buffet in Regina. Well, we were in Saskatoon for one, and two, he discovered the buffet long before he got to Saskatchewan. Trust me. Great guy, by the way, great guy, but he was 100 pounds overweight. It was just a sad situation. But that is where I got to meet Lee Steinberg, his agent, and that was a lot of fun. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says $7 million a year for Trinidad Chambliss for a college kid. What motivates him to become a pro? We'll debate that when we come back. Coach DeBuck in Fort Lauderdale says Luke Wilson says the product is not good in the CFL. I don't know what he's saying. I've checked out on really anything Luke Wilson has to say. It's distasteful to see the Twitter wars. I thought we were past that in life. Jason in Red Deer writes, and he says, how readily available are UFL games for us here in Canada? They're all on, are they not, Mitch? I've never had a problem finding UFL games in Canada.
I don't know if TSN has them.
I think they do. Oh, and he's gone. We'll be right back here on Game Plus TV.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Hold on tight, Moose Jaw. Professional bull riding is back. PBR Canada charges into the Temple Garden Center April 25th. See the toughest riders take on the rankest bulls in a night of non-stop edgier seat action. Whether you're a diehard fan or brand new to PBR, this is one show you don't want to miss. Tickets are on sale now at sastix.ca or at the box office. But don't wait, they'll sell fast. Professional Bull Riding Canada in Moose Jaw.
Proudly presented by Papikassis Developments Limited.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina. This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a Football Friday. We got some breaking news here. I want to see Scruffy's face when I drop it. It's with regards to this show. Mitchell Scruffy Blair is with us. He'll be on in a second. And this Tuesday, we will be joined by Vegas Golden Knights General Manager Kelly McCrimmon on this fine program. You'll be on Tuesday, Mitchell, not at the same time as Crim, but how about that? That's a pretty big deal when you get an NHL General Manager on your program.
Nice. And, of course, you and Kelly have had a nice relationship over the years, so that should be a good chat.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. Yeah. While we're at it, I guess I should do the junior hockey report for the Mad Greek in Moose Jaw. Did you hear this, Mitch? The Western Hockey League announced the addition of Grammy Award-winning recording artist Michael Bublé and Emmy-nominated TV star Drew Scott as celebrity coaches for the upcoming WHL Prospects game, Wednesday, February 18th in Langley. We all know who Michael Bublé is. Do you know who Drew Scott is?
Mr. and Mrs. Scott's little boy.
As luck would have it, well, that and Drew Scott, who hails from Vancouver, BC, co-hosts and executive produces many hit TV series, including the Emmy-nominated franchise Property Brothers. You know those two guys that look like twins? He's one of them.
Okay.
So,
have you been to an Oshawa Generals game lately?
No, why would I? There's something going on there that stinks. Am I right? I saw that. What are they doing?
They apologized today for sending that email out, apparently. Roddy, I don't know about you. Can you see that happening back in the days of the Regina Pats and the Moose Jaw Warriors? As I told Kelly Rempel yesterday.
Explain what it is. I don't really know. Explain what it is.
The Oshawa Generals sent out an email to their season ticket holders, which basically said, hey, can you do us a favor before you come to games and have a shower? Because we've been getting a lot of complaints about people that stink in the crowd. Just went, oh my God, is this real? And it was. That's
I feel like Forrest Gump when he said, I don't know what to say about that. I saw the story.
Great for the Moose Jaw Regina rivalry.
We're basically saying that about the other team's fans. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't, like you, didn't know whether I could believe it or not. By the way, the Olympics are on. We've talked a lot of football here. And by the way, coming up next hour, Mike Davis will be joining us from the Vegas Nighthawks, head coach and general manager of the reigning champion indoor football league team. Since we got Chief Johnny Moe has written in from Winnipeg, he says, "Go Canada, go!" Listen, I need your opinion on this, Mitch, because believe it or not, folks, I do value Scruffy's opinion. I know it doesn't seem like it. Canada plays Switzerland today. You said it wasn't much of a game yesterday against Czechia, and it wasn't. Who would win a game, one game? This year's Team Canada or the 1987 Canada Cup? Because I went back and looked at a power play video from that. Gretzky, Lemieux, Messier up front, Bork and Coffey on the point, and, of course, Fierzy in goal. Who wins a one-game showdown?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know if I can answer that right off the top of my head.
That might have been a good poll question, too.
Would that team be able to neutralize the speed of Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon? What a fantastic question.
Well, thank you.
The goaltending would be better back in 87. The defense would be better, I think, in 87. But, boy, that forward group, when you've got what Canada has now compared to back then, what a great debate that would be.
I know. I feel like, can somebody create the video game? Is Nelson Hakowicz watching our VP of STEM events? Can somebody create the Canadian roster from back then? The only way we could do it is over a computer simulation, with the rankings and stuff. My vote would be the 87 team. And by the way, you're right. The 87 team has the edge in goal, but that's nothing against Jordan Binnington. He had a shutout yesterday. Everybody wants to dump on the guy. You're not, but everybody else wants to. John Cooper's basically told people to stick it in their pipe and smoke it. And by the way, back to this other thing with Paul Maurice, the Team Finland players apparently told their sport governing body in Finland they'd like Paul Maurice to be their coach. Is that not just the greatest story going into the weekend, Mitch? I think that it is.
That's a crazy story. I did not know anything about that until you brought it up this morning. But that, and you know me, yeah. I couldn't figure out why Paul Maurice isn't on Team Canada's bench. And they showed it yesterday because I didn't know who the assistants were, with the exception of DeBoer.
Rick Tocchet.
But it's DeBoer,
Tocchet, Bruce
Cassidy, and Cooper. Yeah. How does Paul Maurice not get in there?
I thought you and I talked about this. Coop won first. He's entitled to staff with his guys.
Yep.
And his relationships with DeBoer, Tocchet, and Cassidy obviously go back longer than his relationship with Paul Maurice. It's not like they don't have a good... Trust me, Mitch, there's a lot of people here in Florida trying to make an issue of that. And I'm like, that's not a thing. By the way, Matthew DeBuck writes in from Fort Lauderdale, Coach DeBuck from Cardinal Gibbons High School. He says, hockey question for Scruffy. Do the Habs make a goalie trade?
If it involves Jacob Fowler going the other way, no, they don't. But if they can find a way to upgrade a little bit from Montembeault and the European guy, what's his name?
Jacob
Dobish. If they can find a way to upgrade without having to give up Jacob Fowler, then I think it's something they certainly have to look at.
You saw they fired their goalie coach back just before Christmas.
Yeah,
so clearly they have zeroed in that there's an issue. But it's like, well, I brought this up to you, right? The notion of a Bobrovsky trade here. What do you think Sergei Bobrovsky could fetch, knowing full on that he will sign back here in July? This is not a trade and sign deal. He's coming back to Florida, but if you want him on a rental, what would you give up for him if you're the Edmonton Oilers per se? And money's not... They'll figure out the money.
Well, first off, you would have to figure out the money and how much Florida would retain. But knowing the fact that Sergei Bobrovsky is probably going to go back to Florida, I don't think the cost would be that much. Probably a top-end prospect and a mid-round draft pick.
Because that ain't bad.
If Sergei Bobrovsky had term, then you're talking a lot more. But it's a guy that's basically a rental, you're not giving up a lot.
Jeremy in Winnipeg writes in, he says, no, Fowler needs time. The pride of Melbourne, Florida, by the way, Jacob Fowler and net of the Montreal Canadiens. It's just funny because with the TSN trade bait thing, Sergei Bobrovsky isn't even on it. He was on the list of pending free agents going into the season. And to be honest, I don't know. Coach DeBuck, as a Panthers fan, don't tell me Bill Zito hasn't thought about it. Don't tell me he hasn't thought about it. How are we at for time here, Producer Corey? I feel like we're going to be taking a break soon. Okay, we're coming up on 1 minute left, Scruffy. What's your weekend sports viewing plans?
A lot of Olympics. Trying to think what else is on right now. U.S.
NBA All-Star game.
NBA All-Star game. At the University of Regina tonight for some playoff basketball and regular season volleyball that ends up. So a lot of my time will be at the University of Regina this weekend. Go Cougars.
Who's providing the opposition?
It's a 3-team playoff thing. Brandon plays UBC Okanagan today. The winner plays the Cougars tomorrow. And the Cougar volleyball team finishing things off with games against their provincial rival, the U of S Huskies. Regina will not make the playoffs after losing to the Huskies last night.
Well, that sucks. Well, Scruffy, this has been great. Thanks for jumping on today. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay warm.
All right. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you Tuesday.
We'll be right back with a sports update and viewer takeover the rest of the way. Don't go anywhere just yet, Mitchell. 902-518-3033 is the text line. We'll get into, I'll recap the topics when we come back. Just want to remind everybody, Mike Davis coming up in hour 2, the head coach and general manager of the Vegas Nighthawks, reigning champions of the Indoor Football League and alum of the CFL with Saskatchewan and Toronto. We'll be right back. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, podcast, and WQVZ Radio.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference.
We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote your rebel, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Not like it hasn't been fun before, but it's going to get real fun now. You know, when I talked about the Western Hockey League prospects game and the celebrity coaches being named, Michael Bublé, whom we all know, and Drew Scott, who you know, but you don't know that you know, from Property Brothers. He's the executive producer of it. And the star, he's from Vancouver. I thought him and his brother were Americans. Anyways, the prospects game is in Langley, February the 18th. And the junior hockey report is for our friends at the Mad Greek Eatery. Whether it's pizza, ribs, or authentic Greek favorites, make it the Mad Greek Eatery tonight or tomorrow. Pats and Warriors in a home and home. Plenty of opportunity for you to get to the Mad Greek and tell Johnny Utretus that we sent you. Okay. So many things to get to. Not a whole lot of time. I'm very excited, and I want to thank the Vegas Golden Knights. We have a very good relationship with that organization. The general manager, Kelly McCrimmon, is going to be on this show next Tuesday as part of this NHL Olympic break. Not that Kelly would be taking a break, but he's taking some time out to join the show next week, so get ready for that. I'm very excited and happy about that. This is why Tiger King wears a gun. Joe Exotic. People. Because the poll question today, as always, is brought to you by EMJ Marketing, Elite Keynote Speakers Bureau. Transform your audience with powerful presentations from EMJ Marketing's Elite Keynote Speakers. Check out their website for more information at emjmarketing.com. So our poll question is, will you be following the UFL this year? You know who comes up with the poll questions? Pretty much me. Like pretty much 100% of the time. 58% of respondents are saying no. And if you go to our Twitter, at Rod Pedersen Show, there's like a war is broken out amongst the readers. It's not a big war, but big enough. And some guy goes, Rod's followers are guys who watch the CFL. He only put this poll out because he knew the response was going to be bad. These guys don't want the UFL to succeed. Bruh, you're giving me way too much credit. I simply wanted to know if you're going to be following the UFL or not. The end. Again, why Tiger King wears a gun. I'm ready for the weekend. Check out. Couple of things here before I get to the sports update. Topics that we've been discussing today, and other topics I haven't even got to, but members of Team Finland at the Olympics, it came out today on the broadcast during their 4-1 win over Sweden that members of the team wanted Paul Maurice to be their head coach. And I was saying, should that be allowed, like just in sport overall? You're not from Finland. And I think if Paul Maurice had been given I'm sure he's enjoying the break, but it's the Olympics, man. It's the Olympics. Where the hell is it? Darren writes in, he is watching in Melfort, where they do the Melfort Shuffle. He goes, I totally think that a Canadian coach should not coach another country's team in curling. Why would a person want to help another country win? Why would Tate McRae of Calgary, the pop singer, do an ad for USA, Team USA? Laverne in the Frontier City writes in, he says, for the Florida Panthers fans, it was kind of nice to see Coach John Cooper put Marchand, Bennett, and Reinhart together on a line more than once. I liked it. They just want to win, right? More than anything. 5-0 Canada beat Czechia. They are playing, who is it today? Switzerland? That'll be a good game. Yeah, Canada, Switzerland this afternoon. So I was like my dad, because I'll tell you, my brother's very, very best friend, the best man at his wedding, was the head coach for Sweden in the 2012 World Juniors, which ironically was the World Juniors that I was the voice at Team Canada. My brother showed up, cheered for Sweden. He indoctrinated his kid into cheering for Sweden. My dad was furious. How dare you cheer against Canada? I don't know how my dad would have felt about me being the voice of USA football for the national championships in Charlotte, North Carolina. But why did I do it? And it was an unbelievable experience. I mean, if we relate all these things to ourselves, how would you like to be in their shoes? That was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun being the voice of Team USA. And as I say, Paul LaPolice from New Hampshire is the head coach of Canada's flag football team in the Olympics. I guess until there's a rule against it, why would we not do it? As Jason in Red Deer says, money talks, baby. Yeah, Jeff in Toronto says, money. You see it in soccer all the time. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, Kelly McCrimmon, in other words, God. Yep. the best general manager in the National Hockey League, will be with us on Tuesday in hour 2. I'm very excited to say that. Thank you, Golden Knights. Thank you, God. There were more texts that have come in here on that. 902-518-3033. The Dodge, Western Dodge brings you the text line. Are you ready for a new ride? Head to Western Dodge, where the deals are real and the service is legendary. On the UFL, will you be following it? Wayne in BC writes in. He goes, I voted no for following the CFL, but I will the UFL, but I will watch a game here and there until the CFL begins. This is kind of funny in that it's just a football thing. I've let it go. I don't understand it, and I never will. This would be like me going, I'm not watching the Olympic hockey. That's not NHL. Oh, my God. They're playing Olympic rules, and it's, hockey's hockey. Football's football. What the hell's wrong with you? Kirk in Toronto writes in, hey, Rod, legendary BC broadcaster Jim Robson has passed away at age 91, voice of the Canucks and the BC Lions. Remember some of his broadcasts from the 1970s. Rest in peace. I thank you, Kirk, for bringing that up, because you're in Toronto and probably never listened to him do a game. I only heard the clips of him doing games because I'm not from Vancouver, but I had a lot of our viewers on Game Plus TV in BC write me about Jim Robson, and I didn't really know what to say. I didn't grow up with him like they all did, but as a broadcaster, I knew who he was. I thought they named the street after him, Robson Street. Apparently they didn't, but they might as well. The main drag that runs right down downtown Vancouver. Jim Robson, condolences to his family, and thanks for the memories is what I'll say about Jim Robson. He was Vancouver Canucks. He was the Vancouver Canucks. Thank you, John in Winnipeg. I will take a look at the UFL. It's football, for Pete's sake. I know. I mean, watch it or don't. We don't need to get militant about it. It's funny because I had a guy the other day, I asked, it was a poll question on Tuesday, are you footballed out? Because when I got up Monday morning and went for a run, I put on Pro Football Talk, and they were talking about the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, I'm footballed out. So I was. And I flipped over to Howard Stern. I did not regret that. Well, it's so funny you say that, Jason in Red Deer. He says, Olympic rules on less than NHL size ice. All this hand-wringing, all this tail-chasing going into the Olympics, and now here we are playing on a less than regulation size rink, and it's a dog's breakfast, and nobody cares. Yet, for whatever reason, when the Toronto Argonauts play on a football field that has a 17-yard end zone, everybody wants to make an issue of it. Like, I don't get it. Please make it make sense. Sports update for the Ultimate Fan Zone. The NBA fined the Utah Jazz $500,000 and the Indiana Pacers $100,000 for overt tanking behavior that prioritizes draft position over winning, as both have held players out of or removed players from games without good reason. I'll talk about this next hour. I'll get through the rest of this sports update. We'll pick it up next hour. The first 5 days of the Winter Olympics averaged 26.5 million viewers across NBC's platforms, a 93% increase over a comparable point in the Beijing Olympics 4 years ago. Why? Baseball, MLB owners have voted to enforce a rule that prevents first and third base coaches from leaving their boxes until after a pitch is thrown. The goal? Curb the practice of these coaches seeing and then relaying to hitters what pitch is coming next. I can't believe it's taken this long. And LeBron James had 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists in the Lakers' win over the Mavericks last night, becoming the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double. Karl Malone previously held the record at 40 years, 127 days. The sports update is for our friends at Ultimate Fan Zone in Moose Jaw. Are you looking for the hottest fan gear? It's where I get mine. Swing by Ultimate Fan Zone or shop online at ultimatefanzone.ca, where real fans get their gear. Oh, I feel like we can be some real rebel rousers in hour two as we continue across Canada on Game Plus TV in those 33 states, but then also welcome in the Nevada viewers who will be very excited to learn that Kelly McCrimmon is coming on this program next Tuesday. Mike Davis will be with us from Las Vegas next hour, the head coach and general manager of the Vegas Nighthawks, and he is CFL alum. He's from St. Louis, and he's one of my dearest friends, by the way. Mike Davis will be with us to talk ball next hour. So stick around, everybody, on this World Radio Day for those who observe and celebrate. We'll be back right after this on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, podcast, and WQVZ Radio.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
How about that?
Well, you're in luck because you're alive. Let's start there. Secondly, it's Friday. We're headed into the weekend, and around here, that means Football Friday. And we got a special guest coming up today. My dear friend Mike Davis is going to be joining us from Sin City, Las Vegas. I meant to get into this a little earlier. We can now. Mike Davis is the head coach and general manager of the Indoor Football League champion Vegas Nighthawks. I got to know him when we spent, I think, 3 seasons together in the CFL with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He then went to the Toronto Argonauts and then bounced down to Vegas, where he, in Golden Knights fashion, won a championship just a few years into their existence. But he did it with the Indoor Football League team, all owned by the same group. Mike Davis joining us from the Vegas Nighthawks a little later on. And I guess I'll drop the news right now. On Tuesday on this show, I just learned this morning from the Golden Knights, general manager Kelly McCrimmon will be with us on Tuesday here on Game Plus Television and the Silver State Sports Entertainment Network. Hour 2 of the program that day, but hour 1 as far as the Vegas viewers go. So listen, we've got a lot of great news today. Let's sit back and observe that and be happy about that. And actually, as we roll into the Quick Six show topics, well, this is good too. I just snatched this from the Associated Press Newswire. The Winter Olympics in Italy feel like an opera, with big emotions driving the story as much as the sport. From American skier Lindsey Vohn's crash in the women's downhill to Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladislav Heraskevich's political statement to U.S. skier Breezy Johnson's wedding proposal. The opening week of the Games has not lacked for memorable moments. The Winter Olympics have, in a way, held up a mirror to the host country. Underneath all the emotion, however, is the hard work that has long served as the bedrock athletes have relied on to get to this moment in their careers. That sounds like a Hallmark commercial, doesn't it? But it has been great, and I read near the end of hour 1 in the sports update that television viewership on NBC is up 93% from the last Winter Games in Beijing. That's no small thing. And here's the thing. I could sit here and say, why? But like you, we're all sports fans. We're always watching. So you can't ask us. Go ask the person that never watches, which I don't know anybody that doesn't watch the Olympics. So I guess it's all good news. That is what I'm trying to say. And the only sucky part of that, as I mentioned yesterday, is that as a sportscaster in this evolving perilous trade, where a lot of you are watching it live right now on Game Plus Television, you're watching us taped on the Silver State Sports Entertainment Network as we are in prime time there, or podcast form around the world, you're not watching it live. So, I mean, yeah, I'm all excited about the hockey game Friday afternoon, Canada versus Switzerland, but by the time most of you air this, the game will be over. What I am more interested in, frankly, really interested in, is this topic that our viewers, we could spend hours on this, okay? We have a lot of viewers that are hockey fans across America. I think that's why they tune in, to be honest. And in Canada, it's a given. But members of Team Finland, who incidentally won 4-1 over Sweden on Friday morning, members of the teams, apparently, according to the television broadcasters, I think it was on Peacock, said that they wanted Paul Maurice to be their coach, to the degree that they went to the sport governing body in Finland and said, can we get Paul Maurice to coach us? Would that be a thing? Because when you look at Team Finland, there's a bunch of Florida Panthers on it. Nico Mikola, Anton Lundell, Alexander Barkov when healthy. He's not there, but he would have been on the team. Eetu Larosterainen. I'm not even saying that right, but you don't know that. Is that right? Paul Maurice is from Canada. He's from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. That's the question. I feel like we kind of robbed ourselves with the poll question that we had. But because it's a Football Friday, which we haven't even got to football yet, the poll question is, will you be following the UFL when it kicks off March 27th, which I don't think in this segment we will. We might get to it. We'll see if I land the plane soon enough. But maybe we'll push that to Monday. The poll, maybe think about that over the weekend, because I spent 5 minutes thinking about it and I changed my mind within 5 minutes. Initially, I thought, no, that's not right. Paul Maurice is from Canada. He shouldn't be allowed to coach Finland. But then this voice in my head, that voice that I've had for years, sometimes annoying, but sometimes very gravitating. Says, but Rod, you were the voice of Team USA football. It was one of the greatest experiences of your life, and it paid really well. Oh, yeah. Rod, you're an immigrant to the United States of America. Yes, I am. Who the hell am I to tell Paul Maurice that he can't coach Team Finland, or for that matter, John Herbin can't coach the Canadian Olympic soccer team, men's? So I flipped on my mind. Yeah, I guess you should be allowed to do that because it benefited me. Isn't that how we all work in society these days? And there have been a lot of thought. I feel like if we put that to the vote, I know what the answer would be. The majority would say, no, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. 902-518-3033. That's what a lot of the texts that have come in so far today have said. No, it's not right. 902-518-3033. I'll tell you what, my dad wasn't alive when I was the voice of Team USA. I'm starting to wonder how he would have felt if he'd known. I don't think he would mind. He worked for a U.S. NHL team for 26 years. Didn't have a problem with that. Where were we? Oh, it is Football Friday. Moving on to point 2. Well, this is really, really, really big. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a Miami Dolphins top today, it's because I felt like it is the number one reason. But number 2, they were back to regularly scheduled programming this morning on WQAM radio in Miami. Joe Rose was talking about the National Football League, the morning man, Dolphins alum, radio color guy for the Dolphins. And I didn't know this. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. And primarily for me, the Olympics is my main focus as a sportscaster, not to mention the work in the recovery field that I do. So I didn't realize that there was a town hall last night for the Miami Dolphins and their fans. And this will tie into, for the Vegas viewers, the Nevada viewers that are Raiders fans. According to those that were there, and I think Joe Rose was there, nobody was safe. I got the sense fights broke out at this town hall last night. And to be honest, the best teams, I think, the open-minded teams, have these town halls. We've all kind of known of teams that have had them, of teams that I've worked for, covered, have had them, where the owner sits on a stool, sometimes with a general manager and head coach with a microphone and take questions from the crowd. I guess it got ugly last night. Again, to quote Joe Rose, nobody was safe. And I'm sitting there with the Raiders going, hey, you at least have the number 1 overall pick. You know who your quarterback's going to be in 2026 and maybe for years ahead. I will say this. They won a national championship with Fernando Mendoza at Indiana. He's from Miami. I mean, I didn't know anything about this guy till the last couple of years. If you want a quality person, does that matter anymore? To the good winning franchises, it does. Fernando Mendoza's dad is like the head of medicine at the Baptist Health chain of hospitals. He's not only the best quarterback, best football player coming out of college football, he's also a really smart and a really good person. Does that help Las Vegas Raider fans? I don't know. And by the way, I appreciate those like PJ Starlissimo, who wrote me on Twitter last night. He was clearly watching the replay when I asked, how long is it going to take for the Raiders to be good? He said they will be good. They will be good. And it's the TB12 factor. And I got to go along with that. Tom Brady will make the Vegas Raiders good eventually. He makes everybody good, so why would he make Vegas good? I don't understand he's not playing, but maybe he's actually got even more influence now. We don't know. Stay tuned. I guess the point of my TED Talk here is that you're not the Miami Dolphins in Vegas, so you can be happy about that, where there are fights breaking out at fan town halls. All I can say is, as I was driving and listening to this, to the gym this morning, I'm like, this does not surprise me, because I know so many Dolphins fans, and they're largely, generally very upset. I can see why they were talking about Olympic men's hockey on that very same radio station 24 hours prior to that. They don't want to talk about the Dolphins. It hurts too much. But from a football standpoint, I'm still only on point 2. A Mississippi judge granted Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss a preliminary injunction that gives him another year of eligibility of college football after a fight with the NCAA. On Thursday, the judge said the NCAA ignores its own rules and failed to weigh Chambliss's medical history The NCAA denied his waiver on January 9th to come back for a sixth season. They also rejected his appeal on February 4th. Chambliss has spent 5 years in college but played only 3 healthy seasons. He started at Ferris State, then transferred to Ole Miss, and they finished 13-2 and lost to Miami in the playoff semifinals. There is that Canadian tie-in for our Canadian viewers. He was on the Saskatchewan Roughriders negotiation list. That's the 50-man list that every team in the CFL has, a protected list. Most of the names on that are private. Somehow Chambliss's name got out. I think it was because of Jim Barker. But either way, he was dropped by the Rough Riders. But he's coming back for a sixth season at a price tag of $7 million, a salary of $7 million for the year, which is a topic. You know, I could get into that with Mike Davis, who incidentally joins us next from the Vegas Nighthawks, a football guy if there ever was one. Hey, Vancouver Eric writes in, they're all saying it's no guarantee, by the way, with Fernando Mendoza. Well, Eric in Vancouver says, first overall, no guarantee, Vince Young. Vince Young was in the Pro Bowl twice. I don't feel like Vince Young's getting his due. Everybody remembers how it ended in Tennessee with Vince Young. He had some good years there, and he was a talent. Now, listen, I'm not saying Vince is the problem with Vince. But I wouldn't say he had a bad career. Oh, and as Vancouver Eric points out, third overall, whatever. You're bringing up Vince Young. That nobody's a guarantee. And by the way, look at Sam Darnold. Did we not learn something on his fifth team? He finally wins the Super Bowl, and now the football people are sitting back going, oh, maybe he wasn't the problem. New York, Minnesota, Carolina. No. Mendoza is not a guarantee, but dang, he looks good. Yes, it's 1:11 Eastern for our Eastern live viewers, 11:11 Mountain for those in the West. For those that observe. Be so positive, the negative people don't want to be around you. That's what I try, and it works. Also, happy World Radio Day for those listening on WQVZ Radio in the U.S. South, and thank you, Ryan O'Radio, for giving us the opportunity there. Did I mention Kelly McCrimmon coming up on Tuesday? You'll be hearing that a lot, the general manager of the Golden Knights. Almost in this same time slot next Tuesday. Point 3, another milestone for LeBron James. The 41-year-old Lakers superstar became the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double as L.A. topped the Dallas Mavericks 124-104 Thursday night. LeBron scored 28 points, contributed 12 assists, grabbed 10 rebounds, and broke the record set by Karl Malone. I don't know. It's just too much. Are you like me, like by the weekend? I'm ready for the weekend. Got in a little discussion at the gym the other day with a guy, and I feel bad because I said I heard that LeBron wasn't playing in the All-Star weekend. I felt like I saw that somewhere, that his streak of 21 straight All-Star game appearances is coming to an end. Said that to a guy today. He's like, I don't know about that. And then he goes out and drops a triple-double for the Lakers Thursday night. Oh, I guess I was wrong on that. There's just too much stuff out there. Point 4. The Philadelphia Phillies released outfielder Nick Castellanos on Thursday after the team was unable to make a deal to trade him. Castellanos then revealed he was benched last season after bringing beer into the dugout during the game. The team wanted the situation resolved before their first full squad workout at spring training, which is Monday. They're like, resolved. You're cut. That's one way to go about it. By the way, first MLB spring training games are 1 week from today. I can't wait. This is a good place to live this time of year if you are a baseball fan. Oh, and for those worried, robots are about to take over Major League Baseball. Colorado Rockies manager Warren Schaefer has some experience with the automated ball strike system that's coming to stadiums this summer. Yes, the machines have a lot of power, but the human touch still matters. The ABS system made a cameo last year on MLB spring training and was greeted with a mix of curiosity, excitement, disdain, and uncertainty. But it's here for the regular season in 2026, and the novelty is quickly giving way to strategy. Robot umpires coming to MLB parks this summer. Watch for it. And point 5, we've been talking about it all week. The United Football League has announced its complete 2026 game schedule with the league's media partners, Fox, ABC, ESPN, combining to broadcast all 43 games during the UFL's third season. It kicks off March 27th, Baltimore versus Louisville. Will you be following the UFL? That's our poll question today for EMJ Marketing, and it's kind of interesting. Like 68% of YouTube voters are saying yes, 73% on Twitter are saying no. I don't know. I'll put that to Mike Davis, our next guest. I mean, he's a football guy. I think he would watch cartoon football if it was on. And I feel like a lot of you are the same. Football questions for CFL alum and the current head coach and GM of the Vegas Nighthawks of the Indoor Football League, Mike Davis, joins us next from Sin City. You're watching the RP Show all across Canada and 33 U.S. states on the Game Plus television network and across the Silver State of Nevada right here on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote your level, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live. Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
A reminder, the RP Show is brought to you daily by Outlaw Communications. That's Tony Plater, a Grey Cup champion, where creativity is a way of life, specializing in strategic communications, leadership training, and clear conversational content that motivates your audience. Look him up, Outlaw Communications. You can find him at tonyplater.com. All right, Mike Davis joins us from the office. So, Coach, I feel very honored that you would pause your day. Hey, happy Friday the 13th, Coach Mike Davis. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but I'm going to anyways. Are you a superstitious guy?
No, not at all. I'm in Vegas.
Never
How
have
can
been?
you be superstitious? No. Are you?
Used to be. No. But as you and I both know, you work hard and live right, you get real lucky. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't think it ever gets tired of talking about a championship as you guys get ready to open the training camp here for the Vegas Nighthawks for 2026. You're coming back as the reigning champions, Mike. How'd you do it? And when did you stop thinking about it, if at all, and turn your attention to this year?
You know, I really never got a chance to enjoy it a little bit. But, you know, it comes fast. You know, you the gift and the curse. You play an extra 4 or 5 weeks, then you turn around and you're 4 or 5 weeks behind, and then the season starts. So you just kind of hit it and run, and before you know it, like, our guys are reporting 2 weeks, so it's here.
Okay, well, for any football-related questions, folks, Mike's your guy, 902-518-3033. Now, you've been on this show before, but it's sporadic. I would like you to introduce yourself again to our Canadian viewers, if you don't mind. You're a CFL alum. Can you just tell the folks your CFL background?
Yeah, I spent 5 years in the Saskatchewan with the Saskatchewan Roughriders as a DB coach and a D-line coach, and then also spent 2 years in Toronto, and now I'm fortunate enough to be here in Vegas.
Well, and you're sending some pretty good players up to the Canadian Football League too. The fans that are watching would know some names. Would you mind dropping some of those?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for now it's Corey Woodruff's in BC. I mean, obviously we've had 10 guys off this year's team sign in the CFL. Corey Woodruff, Desmond Bland's in Toronto, James Caesar's in Toronto, Antonio Winbush is in BC, Mayan and Hanatu is in BC. I was able to put my hands on Kyron Moore, Sam McGuavin, Tony Jones, Justin Rankin. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's a platform for here, but those guys up there, it's a great game, and watching what people are doing in free agency is intriguing.
Arlen Bruce is watching, checks in, says his son will be back with the Arizona Rattlers this year. That's an exciting player there, Arlen Bruce, the fourth. But when when you're recruiting, okay, now we're getting into it. For your league and then the CFL, are you looking for a specific type of player that will help you win, or what are you looking for when you're recruiting?
I'm looking for a guy who can play in the CFL. Maybe that somebody has missed on, because at the end of the day, this is a platform. It's a platform for guys to come here, get a little bit of film, maybe fix something that's functionally wrong, fundamentally wrong. Maybe you just need more film. Maybe you need to show that you can stay healthy and then get an opportunity to get out, right? So if you're a receiver that runs 4.8, I probably can't help you. Obviously you got to fit the mold, and that's kind of what we look for. We've been very fortunate. I have a great personnel guy that helps me, Evan Wilsmore, and we kind of scour the U.S. for guys with CFL cuts, NFL cuts, some guys who are fresh out of college, and if we think that you fit somewhere in the CFL game, we're interested.
It's funny. So Vancouver Eric watches every day. He just wrote in. He goes, Justin Rankin? Wow. That got their attention. That guy is something. How did you know? Because he is like instant big play. You put the ball in that guy's hands, he's gone, and he's not very big.
Yeah, I saw Rankin when he played a year when I was my last year in Toronto, and then I came to Vegas. I tried to recruit him. I couldn't pay him enough, just to be honest, but I knew his work ethic. I knew his coaches he was with, and I was like, guys, like this kid can play. He went to Edmonton. Jones and Giro and them, they had him at receiver. He's not a receiver. He got cut. It's funny because I tried to get Alex and some people to sign him in the CFL, and then they brought him back as a running back, and that's where he's at.
Okay. Now, I do want to talk about the Raiders and the NFL and stuff. And by the way, for those that are listening, they can hear Mike's son. Your son and I have something in common. You know what that is? Both born in the Queen City.
Queen City.
Yeah. So anyways, clearly he's a sharp kid. Now, before we talk about that Raiders stuff and you talk about sending guys to the CFL, you still want to win where you are. And maybe we never did talk about to the viewers that your team is under the umbrella of the Vegas Golden Knights and that sports conglomerate there, and they all like to win. So can you talk about how that all fits in? And must have been nice to deliver another championship for that group.
Yeah, obviously you being really good friends with Kelly McCrimmon, Bill Foley he's like everybody that's got a sports team. He wants to win, and he does everything the right way to make sure that his players are taken care of. He's going to give, and Kelly McCrimmon will vouch to this, he gives them every resources you can to be successful. And it's your job to go buy the groceries and make the 5-star meal. And, obviously winning is hard in any league at any level. So when you win games, it's a nice plus. And then when you struggle a little bit, you got to kind of tweak and figure it out. Like people forget last year, we started the season, I think 2-4 and finished 10-6.
I remember.
Yes. People are like, oh, what's going on? And I mean, it's just people panic in this day and age. You lose a few games and they're like, people act like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Well, we just won 10 games the year before. Like just sometimes guys don't show up like they said they would. And you have to tweak some things and add some ingredients here and take some ingredients out there. And it works out.
Well, congratulations again. Have you got your rings yet? Or is there a ceremony planned for that?
We actually, Jason of Beverly Hills is doing them, the same people that did the Golden Knight rings. We're getting them the first week of March. We'll have a ring dinner March 8th and then kind of put last season behind us and be ready to go.
I've been looking for a reason to get out there. That might be a good one. And by the way, Kelly McCrimmon is coming on the show on Tuesday in this exact spot, the general manager of the Golden Knights. So that's very exciting. I got to ask you about the Raiders. What's it like being a football team, not the Raiders, in Vegas?
It's just like any other sports town. It doesn't – obviously everybody wants to see them win, right? Nobody wants to go watch people lose. That's just the world we live in. Fortunately for us, our trainer the last 2 years has just got rehired to go back to the Raiders under the TB12 umbrella. And so I kind of knew what they were looking for. It's nice to know some of those guys. And, the buzz is crazy right now with the Kubiak hiring and hiring what he's doing with, he's bringing his O-line coach with that they think they love. And so it'll be interesting to see what they do with the picks and with the upcoming draft. And if they're, I have my own thoughts of what they should do, but that's irrelevant.
Well, if we didn't have cameras on us, I might ask you. I won't ask you to give me that here now unless you want to. But I know they introduced Kubiak on Tuesday, and they brought in 6 Hall of Famers for that. I'm sure you couldn't have missed it. Was it Marcus Allen, Howie Long, Woodson? Is the buzz like legit? Is it going in the right direction, or is it just it's like the Raiders have been bad for so long, it's not going to matter?
No, because this hasn't been confirmed, but I heard he got a nice contract with a no-fire clause for a few years. So if you give a guy 3 years to build something, you should be able to see it's going in the right direction. I mean, you look at just because it's so much CFL, like look at what we did in Saskatchewan starting in 15. We were terrible, and we were 2-15 or whatever we were, and we made it and stuff like that, and not to change the subject, but look what Dinwiddie and them have done in Ottawa this free agency. Like I think it's a home run of every magnitude. They've filled the places where they need to fill, and so it's been fun to watch teams and see how kind of people are making moves. And I feel J.O. and Kyle Carson, because anytime you win, you get picked off, and their guys get picked off. But what people are, you hear people fussing like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, but they don't realize they've filled all the guys who left. They filled voids with guys who aren't CFLers. They just signed the Henderson kid. They signed Penny Boone and running back. They re-signed AJ Ouellette. They got a linebacker who's in the building. Like, it's crazy the amount of talent that still funnels up there. And there's so much football to be played. You got to find a home.
You don't got to worry about jumping topics. That's why I got you on. Barker was great at that, and you're good at that. That's why not everybody can do that. So I appreciate your ability. And it's funny, Arlen Bruce, I'll just read some viewers' comments as we go. Arlen writes in, he goes, RP, that Las Vegas AFL team there playing field is off the charts. Ask Coach if he knows about Grits Cafe in North Vegas. Tell him AB sent you. If it's there, I'm sure you've heard of it. Grits Cafe?
Already been there. My players love
okay.
it.
All right. Is your stadium all that? I mean, I last time I was in Henderson, there was no stadium there. What makes your stadium so great?
If you've been in T-Mobile, it's like a mini T-Mobile, 6,500 seats. When they first built it, like we were the first game played in here. So when we played, the sound system, they got in and they're like, oh, we need to upgrade the sound system. So they go out and put $20,000 or whatever into subs underneath the bleachers and the stands, and it just, it rocks in here. So when it's a intimate environment that stays electric. They keep the energy up in there the whole time, and it's a show.
Because you're Rider alum and I'm Rider alum, I want to talk about that. And again, hope you don't mind me saying your wife's from Regina, so she knows. We all know the Rider deal. So the fans are mad that they're losing free agents, and I'm like, well, number one, you stole your coach from Toronto. It's the way it goes. Like, you just won. Can you not be happy with that?
People don't realize, like, when you win, people want pieces of a winner because they want to infiltrate and say, okay, how did you do it? Was it the culture? Was it the practice schedule? Was it the nutrition? What was it that made y'all so good? Right? How did the scheme work? How did this work? And people want pieces of that. So you get picked off piece by piece, and the pieces that they lost were probably asking for big dollars. And there's only so much money to go around. The pie is only so big. So when you find young guys that can play and produce, normally you give them an opportunity because that means you can go spend money elsewhere. And they've done that.
Well, and the thing is, I know the fans don't understand how hard it is to win. That's why when you went in there, let's not forget, your team was an expansion team. So I knew how hard it was for you to do that. And I know how it must have felt to finally win and deliver for your ownership group. Just like Sask, we only got 5 Grey Cups in 113 years of football, 116 years of football. It's not easy to do, right? So I get why teams get rated, right? And that's just the way that it is.
So now it's with all the 1-year contracts in the CFL, it's tough. Like I relate the CFL right now to the college NIL game. People are chasing the dollar, and we live in a microwave world. Everybody wants instant coffee and instant tea and instant success. And I don't remember who said, I think Dick Saban said it. He's like, people have high expectations, but they don't have high resources. So when the resources and the expectations match one another, that's when great things happen. And obviously, J.O. and Kyle, their expectations are the Rider faithful. They want Grey Cup every year, and they think that's attainable every year. It's not. Like, you have to get lightning in a bottle at the right time, and it's hard to do that over and over and over. Like, look at Winnipeg. Would they go to 5 straight Grey Cups? They won 2 of them. Like, you can get there, but you still got to be clicking and healthy at the right time when it's time.
When you say that, and I never really asked you about the length of contracts in your league, but I assume they're short. Like, when I asked Reinbold about this, he had just got hired at Hawaii, and he made the same comparison, college football and CFL. He didn't seem that concerned about it. Like, I would feel like it's hard to build, Mike, but he didn't seem like it's that hard. Or he wasn't that worried about it. I'm sure it's always difficult, but that it's not a huge problem. Fair?
Yeah, I think it's more about it is fair. I think it's more about the relationship building. If you do right by what you say you're going to do, and you're you under promise and over deliver, football world is easy. Like, football players are creatures of habit, just like coaches are. You put them in a situation where it's comfortable and they're convenient and they like the guys they're around. Most of them don't go anywhere unless it's an obscene amount of money, right? Like, I've seen some of the numbers thrown around in the CFL this year. Like, it's crazy. Like, some of the money these receivers are getting and some of the O-linemen are getting, like, not saying they're not deserving, but I mean, it's crazy. Like, I had a guy literally, and I got to give a shout out to Alex, Russell, and them and Hamilton. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. Like they signed a kid, Trevor Reed, and who was in SAS, left, got a futures deal with the Vikings, tore his pec, and they paid the kid. I mean, 6'7", 320. Like he's a specimen of a man, right? To play offensive tackle for him. And then you look and you see, well, they lose 3 or 4 offensive linemen, all to Edmonton. It's so people are just kind of picking up and they're going. They got their groups and they're going. Okay, this cluster is going to go to this team, and these couple are going to go to this team. And so as you grind through it, I think it's hey, who do you enjoy playing with? Who would you lay it on the line with? And some guys have 3 or 4 guys that they don't want to play without, which is tough to make them all fit sometimes. But sometimes when you get that, hey, if I'm taking all 3 of y'all, we got to have a package deal, and we all can't make a ton of money.
We're on day 4 of CFL free agency, that following the 10-day legal tampering window. Do you want to, do you want to say who you think might be winning free agency? Like I said, Hamilton, and the viewers like, no, it's Edmonton, Ottawa. Who do you think's coming out ahead right now?
I think Ottawa. I think Dinwiddie and Berkey and what they've done in Ottawa is a home run. You got to give them an A+. Like, look, they had Bell, who probably is, besides Rankin, is the arguably the best 2 running backs in the league. They steal him from Hamilton. They add Baldonado, the pass rusher from SAS. They add Dylan Wynn. They add Jake Meyer. Like what they've done, they didn't have to. They get CJ Rivas from Sask. So they've added the pieces where they struggled the most last year, right? Pass rush and secondary. They needed a game-breaking running back. I think people aren't talking about them, but I think Winnipeg hit a home run. They steal Broxton from BC. Seresna went to Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, Winnipeg. You get Tommy Neal, who I loved when he was coming out in Toronto. Like they've done what they needed to do just to kind of, hey, let me put a few pieces back together and things like that. Hamilton's done a great job. I think what Ed and them have done and Mark Killam have done in Edmonton is noteworthy. You got to look at it, especially when they grabbed all the 3 of the O-linemen from Hamilton. They all went there. And but I think the steal is Curly Gittens going to Calgary.
Hamilton. He went to Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton. Sorry, Brissett going to Calgary.
Oh, Dejan Brissett. Yeah, I've always liked him. Yeah, that's your
Love
Toronto roots. That's your Toronto
love
coming out
in
into
Toronto. And so you got to look what they did. Calgary's addressed a few pieces, but nobody's talking about Calgary right now. Nobody.
Except for Jeff, the Stamps fan, who's pointing out that not only did the Stamps not lose anybody, but they've added. He's been saying that all week. Right. So, hey, here's the thing, Mike. It's February. Everybody thinks they're going to be good. That's what's fun about it. Not everybody can be, right? Where's BC in this?
When's the last time somebody won a paper championship? I can't recall. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you look right now. Talk to me come October, November, and let's see what where the cream really rises and stuff like that.
They're going to cut us off here, so don't be offended if and when they do. But I can't believe I haven't asked you about Super Bowl yet. What did you think of the game? Seattle 29, New England 13.
I think it went how I expected. I think that defense.
Oh, and he's gone. Sorry, Mike. We'll be right back on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, on a Football Friday. And here we are on Game Plus TV and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. So as I was saying, was it yesterday? I can't remember. The days all run into each other, but we were talking about Mike and I go back, obviously, a long ways, worked together in Saskatchewan for some time, and I was saying how Jim Barker had to resign his position on the show because he's now working in the front office of the Toronto Argonauts. I said, I need to find a football guy that can do Fridays with me, and Mike's like, I'll do it. Okay, let's go. Looks good, talks good, good guy, fits all the boxes. So from the, who is it? Oh, Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in, he goes, I like this guy. And he says, Jeff says, see, when an actual football guy with knowledge speaks, they know how good the Stamps are. Okay, enough about that. 902-518-3033 on that text line. Wayne in BC says, I have to say, love me some Mike Davis, and especially his analysis of football players. You don't get on this show unless you're good. That's a rule that we started 1,677 episodes ago, and I'd like to say that's how we've lasted. Kirk in Toronto says, could you please ask Mr. Davis, would he ever coach in the CFL again? I can answer that for him. He's gone now, but he would. He absolutely would. But I also know, after they won the championship last year in the IFL, that he's just signed an extension with the Vegas Nighthawks. Because one thing about that outfit, they know who the winners are. They like winning, and then they keep them. It's kind of a thing. What do they say? Ownership wins. You know, and I never did get around to asking Mike our poll question, will you be following the UFL? But I think we know the answer to that. It's yes. What did he say? Evan Wilsmore, who I believe, I recognize that name. He said that's his personnel guy. I think he's a UFL, XFL guy. Of course they're going to be following it. It's football. They're always looking for players. But anyways, Wilf in Steinbach, Manitoba's watching. He writes in, and he says, hi, Rod, UFL, I'll probably watch when channel surfing. I feel like we're all the same on that. We'll be watching if it's on. But we're not going to plan our week around it. Like we do with, frankly, Monday Night Football, Friday Night Football in the CFL, Hockey Night in Canada. No, but if it's on, we'll watch. Rich in Edmonton writes in and says, great stuff, RP. Thank you. It is a deep, deep, deep Rolodex and bag of tricks with my friends. Let's put it that way. I got some great ones. The sports update is, quite frankly, the same as last hour, but we'll rate it again and dig into it a little more. The NBA fined the Utah Jazz $500,000 and the Indiana Pacers $100,000 for overt tanking behavior that prioritizes draft position over winning. That was a topic on sports radio this morning that I was listening to, that we could spend hours on that. It was, would you be willing to pay $500,000 or $100,000 knowing you're improving your opportunity to draft a franchise-changing player? Most teams would take that, and the Jazz and Pacers did. The other one here, the first 5 days of the Winter Olympics averaged 26.5 million viewers across NBC's platforms, a 93% increase over a comparable point in the Beijing Olympics 4 years ago. I'm the wrong guy to ask as to why that is, because I watch all the time anyways, and I assume you do too, because we're sports fans. But 26.3 million? You understand that's way more than your highest NFL game in a week, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, not exponentially more, but more. What is it about the Olympics that makes John Q. Public and Sally Sixpack tune in that they're not watching NHL hockey? This is American ratings, of course. Or for that matter, MLB baseball. I don't know what it is, other than it's the thing to do. And 93% more people are watching it this year than the last Winter Games. Okay, one more segment to go. 902-518-3033 is the text line for Western Dodge. We'll recover all these comments and put a wrap on the week when we come back. You're watching on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network and across Canada and 33 states on Game Plus TV.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Looking for a new ride without the big city pressure? Come to Western Dodge in Moose Jaw, where you'll find an unbeatable lineup of Ram trucks, Jeep SUVs, Dodge Muscle, and Chrysler family rides. With knowledgeable staff, great prices, and that friendly Moose Jaw touch, you'll drive away with confidence. Western Dodge, big selection, small town service. Visit us today or browse online at westerndodge.ca. Okay. Welcome back. And we are rolling into the weekend. The viewers are putting me, the P1s, the regular viewers are putting me into a great mood heading into the weekend. Some are annoying me. For those that are writing in trying to get free advertising, hey, we got people that pay for advertising, so we're not going to give it out to you for free. But good try. Nice try. I was born at night, but not last night. Like, for instance, Overtime Hockey Lanes in Calgary, they pay for the advertising here, and they have for years because it's a wonderful partnership where skill and fun collide. Overtime Hockey Lanes, where they have upcoming player development camps. They are actually down at the BMO Center right now with an interactive exhibit. Calgary, what's going on at BMO Center right now? Sounds like a trade show. Anyways, Overtime Hockey Lanes is there. Go check them out and tell them that you saw the RP show talking about them. That would help us out a lot. On the Olympics, when I said, why is the viewership up? Oh, Vancouver Eric, I feel like you and I could have a long chat, a long coffee. He says it's a world tournament of winter sports. That's why it's so popular. It's always been a world tournament of winter sports, but it's up 93% this time from the last one. So it's why. I get that it's a big deal, but 93% more people are into it now than the last time. That's what I'm asking. I know that it's great. I watch it all the time, and I know what it is. Arlen Bruce writing in. I love that you guys all stayed here all day. That's great. AB says, bro, I was watching the Olympics around 11 p.m. Not a good idea, especially when they're racing in circles. I'm not a hater. But which event should I watch? You weren't watching earlier when Scruffy was on with me because I was the same. That was this morning. Said it a lot. I'll stop saying it for a couple of days now because we're heading into the weekend. But I don't know what's live, what isn't. It's weird, and it annoys me. What I know is I'll be watching men's hockey this afternoon. I'm very excited about that. And I know that's live. But round about 10 a.m., maybe 9 a.m., it was the long track 10,000-meter speed skating. NASCAR in tighter outfits. I'm like, yeah, this isn't doing it for me. So I flipped over to Good Morning Football. And I was glad that I did. I'm just going to say it. I'll get my Olympic fill this afternoon and tonight. Paul in Humboldt writes in and says, I will miss Jim Barker's one-liners. My favorite was, that guy hadn't seen 300 pounds since 8th grade. Classic. But I like Mike Davis's analysis too. Here's the thing. I thought, maybe say this correctly, because, Jim Barker and I've gotten to be close. He's a great dude. I thought there'd be a lot more people upset with Jim. I was upset. I'm like, he's great. We get along great. But a lot of you people thought it was a conflict of interest that he would be on the air analyzing football while also working for a team. And clearly some people in big offices felt the same way. So here we are. But Mike Davis didn't have a problem with it, and clearly the Golden Knights don't have a problem with it. And thank God for the Vegas Golden Knights. And what I think is called the Black Knight Entertainment Group. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, no. They're watching in Nevada. I don't want to give away any inside trade secrets other than to say they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And Kelly McCrimmon's going to come on here on Tuesday. And let's say I've had many, many opportunities to get to Vegas since we went on the air there in September. And I'll get there. But as you people all know, I'm not in a real rush to leave Florida. It's a nice life out here. Rich in Edmonton writing in. He says, I love the Raider image plaque behind you. I've made many purchases there over the years. Can I give you a secret? It's not a plaque. I just cut it out of the shopping bag and stuck it up on my shoulder over there. We're just getting some good Vegas synergies here. You gotta enjoy the back and forth, eh? Monty says, happy Friday to you too. Friday the 13th. Used to be superstitious, not superstitious anymore, like I said. Work hard, live right, you get real lucky. Vancouver Eric, I like the back and forth we're having. He says, I'll say technology is the reason for higher viewing numbers for Winter Olympics. Yeah, you should be sitting right here. We could have this debate. It's fun. I would say, then why were Super Bowl ratings down? Which they were. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, Rod, is there a Monday show? There is not. We'll be observing President's Day in the USA. Family Day for you, right, Producer Corey? And all of those across the 306. AB says, Arlen Bruce says, anytime football is mentioned around me, I get a Vince Lombardi mindset. Great show as always, RP. Thank you. I thank the guests for that. I thank the viewers for that. I'm just your steward, as they say. The host of the whole thing, yakking it up on the old yak box. I'm still not done yet with this whole thing about the Team Finland players wanting Paul Maurice to be their coach. I did not have that on my bingo card when I got up today. And then furthermore, do I think it's right? Initially, I said, no. And then I'm like, Rod, you're an immigrant. Rod, you work for Team USA. Oh, yeah. I'm all for it. Let's see how quick I can convince myself. We'll see you Tuesday, everybody. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Thanks for joining us here all across Canada on the Game Plus Television Network and all across Nevada on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
Dad.